Hello. I wanted to review the movie Judas and the Black Messiah. It's a movie about Fred Hampton, who is an incredibly charismatic figure. It deals with all the things. It shows him from the beginning when he didn't really know what he was doing, but he finally became conscious, incredibly young. You'll be surprised at the age he was when all this happened. So it deals with his involvement with the Marxist-Leninist and his involvement with the Black Panthers, his founding and involvement with that. It also deals with his personal life with his girlfriend, and they explore that. And I think it was just very well done. It has a cast of Martin Sheen, Daniel Kaluuya, Lakeith Stanfield, and Jesse Plemons, who was in The Irishman, a film I didn't really like, mostly because it was true, but he's a pretty good actor too. So I thought everything about it was very well done, very impactful, very powerful, very emotional, and all these things come together. It starts out a little slow, but then builds up to a crescendo, and it's just a film that's going to really make you think and examine these things and maybe after the movie you'll want to do some more research. If you don't know about some of the aspects, you'll want to find out more about this. 1968 was a very tumultuous year, full of different aspects of politics and social uprisings and all these things. And so you could see in the movie that the FBI was very fearful of anyone who had any kind of charisma where they could impact a following, where they could influence a wide range of people and get them to follow someone who was maybe radical or maybe, from my view, maybe mature and insightful and could see the way the politicians and the police were manipulating them and keeping them down, and not just in a racist aspect, but that they didn't want anyone to have any influence to show them that things weren't as rosy as they could be. So I thought it was very well done. The aspect that I thought about after the film is why aren't, if black people are viewing things this way, and it was similar when Obama was elected, and you remember seeing Oprah crying about this and whatnot. Why, to this day, haven't we had wealthy black people mobilize in the way that Fred Hampton did? I'm thinking of Oprah. I'm thinking of Michael Jordan, maybe Tiger Woods. I don't know. Why couldn't these people who could easily get together and fund breakfast and lunch programs, all these things that Fred Hampton wanted to do and did, in fact, why couldn't Oprah and Michael Jordan fund these things and get these programs going if, as they're saying, the black people need them and you care about them, as Oprah keeps saying? I only see Oprah going shopping with Gayle King, and I just don't know why, if these things are still so important, if the black community wants to be together and strong, why isn't she funding these programs? I don't understand it, but it's something you'll have to think about, and this movie makes you examine, makes you contemplate all these issues together. So it's clearly a movie that everyone should watch. I think when I was growing up, the Black Panthers were seldom written about. You could find information, but it wasn't talked about a lot. It certainly wasn't on the media, unless they were trying to portray them in a negative way. And I think the good that Fred Hampton did is quite diminished in the press, at least. I visited Detroit a couple times and saw the good that some of the things that were happening were being done. So it's something that we'll have to think about, and you have to ask, if the FBI did this to him, what could they have done to other? I mean, they've made movies about John Lennon, the U.S. going after him. They went after Billie Holiday. They went after, and so there's a new movie out about that. The movie was already out, the U.S. versus John Lennon, which is a highly a movie I highly recommend you watch. It goes over that. And all these politicians who had any influence were being surveilled, were being watched. So I just think this is a really a movie you should watch to gain some insight on what they were doing to all these people. Okay, so I highly recommend you watch this movie.